Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A constant eyesore just south of downtown Rockford could soon be restored. We're live ahead of a city council discussion that involves millions of taxpayer dollars. And months after the Belvidere assembly plant closes its doors, a new development pops up practically right across the street. And a teenager's random act of kindness is inspired by his mom's memory. His generosity means a grade school kid has a more comfortable way to get around the neighborhood. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. Rockford Aldermen are set to debate a massive project to renovate the blighted Barbara Coleman complex. It will add nearly 1,000 apartments and condos, as well as retail space to the site near downtown. Jess Lipson is live ahead of the city council meeting. Jess, there are several pieces to this discussion.
Eric, I'm right outside City Hall where I just spoke to the 5th Ward alderperson, Gabrielle Turina. She has hopes that the council will come to a decision on the blighted building and hopefully brighten up that part of Rockford. There are 3 ways this decision could go tonight: spurring the building's redevelopment, demolishing the structure, or council has the opportunity to push the vote until July 10th. A decision to demolish the building could end up costing taxpayers more than the redevelopment itself.
I think that tonight is one of the most important and historic votes in our city's history. This is a vote that is going to literally change. It's the city actually making an investment in a side of town that has not seen investment for decades. It's the city finally putting some skin in the game and investing in South Rockford like they should have always done.
Later tonight at 9 and 10, I'll have the results of the vote as well as the decision what taxpayers need to know about the project. For now, though, reporting in downtown Rockford, I'm Jess Lipson. Eric?
Thanks, Jess. We'll see you again later tonight. A massive new distribution center is headed for Belvidere. Walmart will build the high-tech building on the corner of 20 and Appleton Road. That's across the street from the Belvidere assembly plant that shut down earlier this year. The 1.2 million square foot facility will be a perishable distribution center. Employees will use state-of-the-art technology to handle fresh produce, eggs, dairy, and frozen goods to be delivered to nearby Walmart stores. Machines will do a lot of the heavy lifting. That means this location will move 2 times the amount of product versus a traditional center. Belvidere's mayor says anywhere from 400 to 700 people will work there.
We also have a great workforce. We have an experienced workforce. They're looking for labor work. They're looking to work, and we have a labor workforce that I would say is a huge asset to this community.
The project is expected to cost $1.2 billion. Construction could start at the end of the year. The building's set to open in 2027. There's been a lot of new development in Belvidere over the past year. General Mills is building a 1.3 million square foot distribution center, and there's a variety of new retail development near General Road and I-90. The mayor says all of the new business means anywhere from 200 to 400 jobs, and he hinted at a possible hotel and fuel center. A Rockford man's arrested right outside of the bank he's accused of robbing this morning. Police responded to the Illinois Bank and Trust on Guilford Road around 11:20. When officers got on scene, they say Richard Drager walked into the bank, walked up to the teller, and demanded money. The 32-year-old then left with a small amount of cash. He was taken into custody right outside the bank. Drager is charged with robbery. A Rockford business celebrates 100 years finding people in our community a place to live. Winnebago County's chairman honored Gambino Realtors this morning at the Pepper House at Midway Village. In 1990, Gambino donated the house to the museum. Frank Gambino started the business in 1923. His sons joined in the 60s. 40 years ago, in 1983, Frank's grandson, Frank, joined the family business.
The 100 years is kind of all of a sudden hit me this year. I mean, it's just, you don't think you're going to get there to achieve it. It just kind of all of a sudden, it's upon you, and it's a great feeling. You know, how many companies can say they've been around for 100 years?
Gambino says when he started as a realtor, house prices in Winnebago County were around $25,000. Today, the average is close to $200,000. $100,000. A 9-year-old Belvidere boy receives a random act of kindness from a stranger. The two share a connection over their love for bicycles. Nikel Delgado talked to the Good Samaritan. Nikel, the teen calls this a way to honor his mom's memory.
That's right, Eric. He tells me his mom has always instilled in him to always help others. And that's exactly what he did when he noticed something was wrong with the young boy's bike.
Hayden said somebody came up in a car and told him they had a seed, they might bring it back for him. But I just brushed it off like, yeah, people say those kinds of things. And then we had gone to the store and we came back home and Caden's like, somebody stole my bike. Wait, somebody put a seat on my bike.
3 weeks ago, Caden Tracy's dog used his bike seat as a play toy, tearing it up. But it's all fixed now, thanks to a random stranger.
I was shocked that somebody did that. And I just wanted to let them know I was grateful because not a lot of people do nice things like that anymore.
After posting their thanks and gratitude to a Facebook page to whoever fixed the bike, the mom and son found out it was Zach Davis.
I seen this kid that have a seat, so I just looked around and we found him one, and we put it on for him.
Zach tells me he used to do BMX and knows what it's like to have to fix your own bike.
We kind of felt bad for him because we kind of know what it was like not having stuff for your bike when you really like riding it every day. And we just thought that we would give him one.
Zach says he hopes his mom is looking down at him and is proud of him. He says she's taught him to help others however you can.
He came and gave me a bike seat and I was super happy that he gave me a bike seat so now I could ride my bike.
I'm happy I get to make other people smile around the town.
Both Zach and Doris hope others see how one act of kindness can make a difference in somebody else's life.
It's a great influence to have in our community that there's kids out here willing to do something like that and show the younger kids that there's still compassion out there.
Zach tells me he aspires to continue to be a positive influence in his neighborhood. Eric?
Nikel, thanks for sharing that story with us. In 2 weeks, we will celebrate the 4th of July. That includes an all-day party in downtown Rockford. It all kicks off with the Lifescape 4th of July Classic Run Walk. That's followed by the Patriotic Prayer Breakfast at Beatty Park. Davis Park opens to visitors at 4. The parade begins with motorcycles leading the way at 4:40. Jeeps get rolling at 4:50. Main parade floats are on the move at 5 o'clock. We hope you come out and see the Eyewitness News crew in the parade. The route starts on 7th Street and winds its way through downtown, ending at Church Street. Then at 9:30, the fireworks show begins. It takes 6 pyrotechnicians 2 days to set up the thousands of mortar tubes and racks. The 30-minute show over downtown's choreographed to music. If you can't get downtown to see it all, you can watch the fireworks live over on Fox 39. President Biden's son cuts a deal with the Justice Department. Coming up, find out what's in the plea agreement and the penalties Hunter faces.
Temperatures this afternoon made it into the upper 80s, 88 our official high. More of the same these next several days when we could have a chance for some rain to return and more on a pattern breakdown coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
President Joe Biden's son Hunter pleads guilty to a pair of misdemeanors related to tax evasion. Anna Wernicke shows us what charge the younger Biden avoids with the deal and shares Republicans' reaction to what they call special treatment.
The plea deal immediately drew criticism from Republicans on Capitol Hill, who called the charges against Hunter Biden weak and a sign of favoritism from the Justice Department.
President Joe Biden's son, Hunter, is pleading guilty to 2 federal tax crimes. The charges include 2 misdemeanor counts of failing to pay his federal income taxes, as well as a separate felony gun possession charge for lying about using drugs on a gun permit application. As part of the deal with the U.S. Attorney in Delaware, Hunter Biden will face several years of probation, but no jail time.
Obviously, things were downgraded.
If you are the president's son, you get a sweetheart deal.
Republicans accused the Justice Department of letting the president's son get away with, quote, a slap on the wrist, and vowed to continue their own investigation into the Biden family.
This does nothing to our investigation. It actually should enhance our investigations because the DOJ should not be able to withhold any information now.
But Democrats say it's case closed. Delaware Democratic Senator Chris Coons said in a statement, quote, "I am encouraged that Hunter is taking responsibility for his actions, paying the taxes that he owes, and preparing to move on with his life." The White House also released a statement offering the president and first ladies love and support, but declined further comment.
A federal judge still needs to approve the plea deal. So far, a hearing has yet to be scheduled. For now, in Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki. Back to you.
We got more of the same in the weather department, hot and dry. Coming up, Chief Meteorologist Candace King helps you plan out the rest of the week. She shows us how high the temperature will get.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Plenty of sunshine out there this afternoon as we take a live look with our SkyTrack camera out of the Park Hills Golf Course. This brought to us by Rockford Career College. A little breezy from time to time with that easterly wind. Wind speeds will subside a bit here as we go through this evening, but we'll maintain that clear sky as we go through the rest of tonight. Area of low pressure down to the southeast. We've got a few severe thunderstorm warnings, flash flood warnings across parts of the Carolinas. Severe thunderstorm warnings down through Louisiana, one there in Texas, as that's where a lot of the active weather has been over the last several days. Blocking pattern in our jet stream has left us very high and dry and less than half of what we should have had this time since April 1st as far as precipitation goes. We should have over 11.5 inches of rainfall from April 1st up until now. Recorded at the airport here in Rockford, we've had just a little over 5. So we are well below where we should be, and it's all because of this block in our jet stream. Area of low pressure down to the south, ridge of high pressure, and then you've got another low pressure system off to the west. It's varied a little bit over the course of the last couple of months, but it's been very persistent, which is why we just have not had a lot of that moisture work in from the Gulf, that deep Gulf moisture, which is what we need to really get those showers to move through. But there are some signs, and I'm very hopeful that this really holds going into the weekend and next week, that we start to see this pattern break down. So with that low pressure system to the southeast, it kind of opens up a little bit. So it's not that closed circulation. It opens up into that low pressure and then kind of gets absorbed into the jet stream while we start to see some stronger winds move onshore onto the west. What that'll do is flatten out that ridge of high pressure that has been to the south. That's brought very persistent heat across parts of Texas, triple-digit heat, in fact, over the last couple of days. What we need to get more activity into our neck of the woods is that jet stream to be closer to us. And that may happen by the time we get into Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of next week before we start to see that flow turn to the northwest. So this west to east flow in our jet stream kind of characterized by a slight increase in the wind speeds, likely to enhance some showers and thunderstorms as we get a little closer to the weekend. Also could bring back that risk for severe weather closer to the Midwest and the plains. Friday looking out over parts of the Central Plains, and then that'll shift a little further east, not necessarily to us just yet once we get into Saturday, but that'll be the focus by the end of the week and for the start of the weekend. If we can see some of those thunderstorms work through, there's a small potential that we could have a few stronger storms, or at least a chance for some rain and thunderstorms as we get closer to Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and then again into Monday. So temperatures right now at 87 in Freeport. We're 86 in Rockford, 87 in Rochelle. You are still at 90 right now in Savannah. Dew point numbers are in the 40s and the 50s, so very dry air miss out there. Relative humidity sits for most of us under 30 and 35%. So through these daylight hours, especially when we factor in the wind, those dry conditions, again, you want to limit any outdoor burning only because of that elevated fire risk, which is a lot of times what high heat, low humidity, and breezy conditions will bring. That'll be the same going into tomorrow. Tomorrow we may start to see a little more cloud cover work in. Same thing as we look towards the afternoon on Thursday, but I think we are still going to stay dry. Slight increase, Eric, in moisture as we get in towards the weekend. So towards the weekend, you may notice the humidity start to go up just a little bit. 91 may be conservative on Saturday, upper 80s Sunday, and then lower 80s by the time we get into early next week.
Humidity or not, bottom line, it's going to get hot. Candace, thanks. Scott Leber is next with sports. Is White Sox manager Pedro Grifol on the hot seat? We'll hear what the team's general manager has to say about that. And two of the greatest sluggers in baseball history make plans to come to Rockford.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
The Cubs will continue to try to climb toward that 500 mark tonight. They're playing again in Pittsburgh, and if they win this game, they're only going to be 3 games under 500. They'll also jump ahead of the Pirates in the division. Marcus Stroman is the Cubs starting pitcher. He's going for his 9th win. The Pirates have lost their last 7 games. The Cubs have beaten them 4 times in that stretch. White Sox are still going in the wrong direction. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games. They're going to host the Rangers again tonight. Sox are 12 games under 500, so is Pedro Grifol's job on the line?
This underperformance that we've had so far, or any of the issues we've had thus far in this season, is not on Pedro and on the coaching staff. I don't think we could have been more clear about that.
Well, Jose Canseco was one of baseball's biggest sluggers from the mid-1980s through the 90s. He had 462 home runs. Yeah, he had some help from performance-enhancing drugs. He's admitted that. But he was still something to see. And soon he'll be trying to go deep again right here in Rockford. On Saturday, July 8th, the Rockford Rivets are bringing him in for an event called the Rock River Showdown. He'll try to hit baseballs from the Prairie Strait Brewery downtown across the Rock River. Also at the same event, the Rivets will have a home run contest against the Lakeshore Chinooks. 4 hitters from each team will compete. You can learn more about this from the Rivets. Fox 39 is happy to be one of the media sponsors for this event. Then the following Saturday, July 15th, the Rivets are bringing in former Cubs slugger Andre Dawson to help headline a celebrity softball game at Rivets Stadium. Chicago sports legends like Dawson will square off against Wisconsin sports legends. Some of the other players who will be appearing will be Mike Singletary, Mitch Wild Thing Williams, Amon Green, Jermichael Finley, and Antonio Freeman. You can get more information on both these events by contacting the Rockford Rivets. Now, one of the Nick 10's top basketball players this past season, Borland's Aiden Campos, is headed to Chicago. He has signed a letter of intent with Roosevelt University. He signed at today's Fightin' Titan camp with all of the campers cheering for him. Roosevelt's an NAIA program that's jumping up to NCAA Division II next season. The Lakers head coach is former Fighting Illini standout D. Brown.
It's great to have this decision made. It took a lot of thought, just bouncing back and forth, but I'm glad I made the decision and I'm ready to play.
What swayed you to pick that school?
The coach, I just really like Coach D. Brown. Good guy, he knows the game, was in the league, Illinois legend. I just like their program and what they're about and what they stand for.
Good luck, Aiden. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Hot and dry is probably the simplest way to describe our forecast over the next few days. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.